Hello again, and thanks very much for joining us on Business Now. I'm Michael Nath. The federal government, through the Nigerian Communications Commission, is set to make at least $1.09 billion from the sale of 4 5G spectrums. This after the NCC revealed in a new information memorandum on 3.5 GH spectrum auction that it has set the reserve price for 2 more 5G spectrum licenses at $273.60 million apiece. According to the NCC, 5 licenses will eventually be awarded for the deployment of 5G in the nation. With its new move, 1 more 5G license will still be auctioned. At the Stakeholders Consultative Forum on the draft information memorandum for the 3.5 spectrum auction in 2021, the Commission said it stated that all 8 spectrum would be auctioned by 2023. The final cost of the available spectrum is expected to rise during the actual auction. The NCC set the reserve price for the 5G licenses that MTN and MAFAB won at $197.4 million, but they eventually paid $273.60 million each for their licenses. Nigeria's technology-driven telecommunications industry has contributed $70 billion to the nation's economy. This was the position of the Executive Vice Chairman of Nigeria Communications Commission (NCC), Umar Dambata. Dambata made this disclosure while speaking at a cyber chain event in Abuja on the topic using technology to grow Nigeria's GDP, and noted that technology has had a significant impact on Nigeria's society. Represented by the Principal Manager, Digital Economy NCC, Eli Ela, the EVC, Dambata, emphasized that Nigeria's adoption of 5G, e-commerce, fintech, and big data has increased the nation's capacity for revenue generation. According to him, Nigeria's adoption of digital technologies has enabled it to diversify its revenue and economy, and created jobs, improved services and efficiency, and reduced wastages and optimized resources available. The Central Bank of Nigeria, in the line with its mandate to promote stability, inclusion and growth in the financial and payment systems, says it has introduced a national domestic card scheme that will become effective on January the 16th, 2023. A statement from the Director, Corporate Commission, CBN, Usita Mwanisobi, as Nigeria's Africa's largest and most vibrant economy, and the pace of digitization and innovation, alongside the expansion of mobile penetration and the proactive policy initiatives of the CBN, had driven the accelerated adoption of digital financial services. He said, considering the strength and breadth of its banking sector and the rapid growth and transformation of its payment system over the last decade, Nigeria is ideally positioned to successfully launch a national card scheme. Building on this platform to accelerate financial inclusion requires infrastructure that can deliver lower-cost payment services that are more accessible and affordable for Nigerians. The National Domestic Card Scheme, is noted, will be delivered through the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System (PLC) and Nigeria's Central Switch, in conjunction with the Bankers Committee and other financial ecosystem stakeholders. The Naira has continued its free fall across the exchange markets as Nigeria's foreign exchange remained depressed amidst dwindling crude oil production. Post-trading data at the weekend showed the Naira during the week depreciated both the official and parallel markets. At the official investors and exporters window of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Naira depreciated by 29 basis points to 441.67 Naira per dollar. At the parallel market, the Naira fell faster by 700 basis points to 750.00 Naira per dollar. Nigeria's external reserves had declined by 0.6% to 37.7 billion. That's according to the latest figures tracked at the weekend. Analysts expected the Naira and the nation's forex reserves to remain under pressure as Nigeria struggles with poor oil production, surging inflation, and a backlog of unmet forex demand. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has released a supervisory framework for payment service banks. The framework, among other things, empowered the PSB operators to sell foreign currencies, especially dollars, to authorized foreign exchange dealers. The CBN framework also authorized the PSBs to accept deposits from individuals and small businesses, which shall be covered by the deposit insurance scheme, carry out payments and remittances, including inbound cross-border personal remittances services through various channels within Nigeria. Now, the framework says the operators are expected to leverage technology to provide services that will be easily accessed by the unbanked population and those who are hard-to-hard rich areas of the country. The CBN said PSBs are to operate mostly in rural areas and unbanked locations, targeting financially excluded persons with not less than 25% financial service touch points in such rural areas as defined by the CBN from time to time. In addition to operating current and savings accounts, they can also offer payments and remittance services, issue debit and prepaid cards, deploy automated teller machines, and other technology-enabled banking services to the people, the majority of whom cannot be reached by the conventional banks. Nigeria needs to improve its foreign exchange earnings to keep the country as a haven of investment. This was put forward by Dipo Ajayi, a financial analyst on iBrandTV's Business Breakfast on Monday. He explained that the huge gap between the parallel markets and the official FX market was creating an unfavorable outlook for the country.
Whether they are ready or not, is the fact that this is the right way to actually go currently. Because in a situation whereby you can barely make 50% of the expected revenue that you expected to have made in this year. And also, we know that generating FX is intertwined with many other things in the economy. We are clamoring about imported inflation as a result of the exchange rates. And one of the things that, by the time we look down and check the closing cost of this thing, is the fact that we are not generating enough FX revenue as expected. Imagine like we have been able to generate 2 times of what we generated this year. Of course, what that would mean that CBN will have enough FX to meet obligation of manufacturers and other people that actually need FX for their business. And at the end of the day, what that would mean that will reduce the pressure on the parallel market. As a result of that, we will not see the huge gap that we're seeing between the parallel market and the official market. So I think it's not about their intention, it's about the fact that that's the right thing to do as we speak now. I think, for investors, it's a good one, because what it means that before now is that for investors, whether Moody's actually come out to actually downgrade Nigeria or not, some investors would have still patronize Nigeria instruments and also buy into Nigeria debt instruments. So for them, it simply means that now, henceforth, you want to price the Nigerian insurances appropriately in tandem with our current rating standards. What that would mean to investors, it means that they are taking higher risk, but they are getting higher return in response to that part.
Now, the average Nigerian treasury bills rises from oversell pressures seen in the secondary market last week amidst the rising headline inflation rate. Analysts, however, project that market participants will shift focus this week, as the Central Bank of Nigeria will conduct a primary market auction on Wednesday. According to the auction calendar, the CBN is expected to roll over 240.26 billion naira worth of maturities. With the ongoing repricing, the market expects spot rates to rise further amidst a plan to securitize the $20 trillion overdraft by federal government from CBN via fresh issuance. There were sustained pressures in the financial system last week. A tight level saw that kept short-term rates higher at the money market.